What's up everyone? Welcome back to this week's video where we're going to talk about a bully who was murdered by his own town. Make sure to drop a like on this video, subscribe, and turn on post notifications so that you never miss a weekly upload. As always, let's get into it. Born in 1934, Ken McElroy was a resident of Skidmore, Missouri. Ken was very notorious around town and most of the people knew him as the town bully. After dropping out of school in the 8th grade, it didn't take much for Ken McElroy to fall into the life of delinquency. What started with hunting raccoons and very small petty crimes eventually turned Ken into a full-blown criminal. Ken was known for stealing things such as alcohol, grain, gasoline, and even livestock. Ken was also known for having multiple felonies, including assault and arson. Of the most serious, Ken was accused of statutory rape and child molestation. In total, he was indicted 21 times and managed to escape getting locked up in prison every single time. He was a big man who had very cold eyes and always carried a gun with him everywhere that he went. He was known for intimidating people and would often harass people in his town or threaten them with a bullet. Ken's attorney Richard said that he would defend Ken in court with 3 to 4 felonies every single year. It was cited that his attorney said he was his best client ever because he would always come to him with business and paid cash every single time. Although his attorney was very fond of him, his town absolutely hated him. Things eventually hit a boiling point in 1980 when Ken got into it with an elderly man who was a grocery store bagger and ended up shooting him in the neck, nearly killing him. Shortly after this took place, Ken was arrested by the local police and charged with attempted murder. The following year, a trial took place, and for the very first time, Ken was actually convicted. The victory was short-lived when Ken appealed the case and was released on bond. Once Ken was released, he didn't quietly celebrate this victory. He decided to go after the old man and continue harassing him. He showed up to the grocery store as well as local bars strapped with a bayonet and a rifle, threatening to kill the old man. The elderly man continued to get harassed by Ken, and his daughter decided that she had had enough. She was extremely bitter and angry at the entire incident and was extremely let down that the police were not doing anything to help her or her father feel safe. His daughter decided to hold a very large meeting for everyone in town to get together. They decided that as a town they had had enough and the only thing left for them to do was to kill Ken McElroy. On July 10th, 1981, Ken and his wife Trina decided to hop in his pickup truck to go run some errands. When Ken got his truck to the main street, him and his wife noticed that there was about 30 to 50 people surrounding his truck. As Ken sat there in his truck, confused why there were so many people around him, he began to get shot at in his truck by people from every direction. Out of all of the stray bullets that came flying at Ken, he was eventually hit by 2 and then died there in his truck where no one called an ambulance. Out of the 40 or so potential witnesses, every single person told police that they didn't see the shooter and had no idea how Ken got shot. The DA declined to press charges and the following investigation proved to be futile. Since there was no witnesses, there was nobody to take the stand. Police came to the conclusion that regardless of how much energy and effort they put into Ken's case, they would probably never find the actual killer. Since everyone in the town was shooting at Ken, it made it extremely confusing and difficult to figure out who actually caused him to die. Since that day in 1981, it's been over 40 years and there is still no one who has been charged with Ken's death. Ken's old attorney Richard, who kept him out of jail over 21 times, said it best. The town got away with murder. I guess the only question left is whether or not the town is actually justified for the actions that they took. What do you think?